Hi guys, good morning. I hope you're all keeping well. As promised, I've laid out the Zulu War project that I did over the summer. I've got a few pieces of terrain to show you before I start off. I'll just show you those. This first piece was done on some cork, and it's just filler on cork and some Wilco house paint. And for the stones I used actual stones for the slabs, and then for the stone wall, just see if I can show that better for you. That is Mel the Terrain Tutor's method of doing a stone wall. It's like fish tank stones with just PVA and combined in a mould that you can make out of something like Lego, and use it to jam that in with baking paper in between the Lego mould, and then you put the stones up there. If you just type that in on YouTube, you will get his video on it, which is the definitive way to do it. So just follow that and you can make some really easy stone walls. This one's wonky and a bit rough and ready, but it's a start. I'm going to use that method for European stone walls. It doesn't really fit the Zulu wall, but it does look passable, maybe as a cattle kraal or something. Before I knew how to do the proper stone wall, I experimented with some collapsed walls. So that's one of them. You know, nice little positions, and I tried to leave room for a few figures to cram on there as some cover. I actually do prefer the more natural looking one. Well, for the Zululand, I think that looks better. That's yet to have grass or anything on it yet. And again, pick up a pack of you know, just cork coasters, and they also do coasters for like when you're putting down your saucepans and things. So you know, eBay, dirt cheap. So that's a good basing material because it's ready made. I'm not actually moving the camera, it just seems to try and keep up with where everything is going. So this is the project as promised. These are the Zulus. Now before I get this wrong, I'm going to double check in the Bible of the Zulu War. It's Ian Knight's Zulu Rising. It's the epic story of Isandlwana and Rorke's Drift. It's this tome of a book. I can show you that one. This is my favourite book on the Zulu War. It's really good. I think I'm going to do a little video just on reading for the Zulu War because it's so awesome. But anyway, I mentioned that because the Zulus had an Ibutho or Amabutho, a guild or regiment recruited according to the common age of the members. So we have an unmarried Ibutho here, and whilst they're not finished, the Warlord Games guys in white shields, those are the married regiment. You see the different headdress. As I've told some of you before, I don't actually like the Warlord Games plastics. But I do really like the Perry ones, so I'll just focus on the Perry ones. Some of these are on sabot bases. I haven't done this grass, sorry about that guys, but this is the stuff I'm going to use on further reflection. Luke Sapp's 6mm dead grass, static grass tufts. So touch of PVA and they'll go on a treat, I think. Got the basing down, and I found the easiest way to do that, especially for such a mass as the Zulus, is just to do PVA and sand. It's just so much easier. That's what one looks like when it's just been done. And it's it is actually sand from the Pembrokeshire beaches. So it's the real deal. It's actually better to get fine sand if you can find it, but that's what I had to hand. And the tufts looked like that. So I thought that would make for a nice Zululand grass. Now there's this whole question of what, you know, summer is. I say that the January of 1879 was the rainy season. I don't know, is it reversed because it's southern hemisphere? Do you have summer now or winter? I'm not sure how exactly it works, but the impression I get is that it had been raining and there was actually like luscious grass. But with the miniatures, I am tempted to actually just go for the dead grass look, because it doesn't. I've got one guy who's more of a normal luscious grass. I don't think it kind of fits the theme, so please forgive me for that. I think I'm going for that as a thematic choice, and it'll also suit the later campaigns where it was in fact dead grass, you know. So yeah, that's a choice really, guys. I'm not sure what you guys are going to do about your basing, or maybe you haven't overthought it like I have. But yeah, these metals then for British, which I'm just about to show you. Show you the unpainted ones first, because I tried to rush them all through the summer, but you know, Empress miniatures, I want to take my time with them. I've got a few Redoubt miniatures as well. Lovely ones, the Empress miniatures, highly recommended. The metals are stunning, and far superior to anything that Warlord Games makes. They had some sort of relationship where they'd put some Empress miniatures in the Warlord Games plastics. The guy on the floor is Redoubt, as is this fella. But he's got a Empress miniatures head swap, handing out ammunition. Yeah, I'll show you the batch of the unpainted ones when I've spent some time on them and painted them up. Sorry, I'm not sure if the lighting's very good today. Those 6 in the back, those are all Empress miniatures. The pride and joy are the ones that I've actually finished. This is the, well, I'll have to call them the 24th foot, but they could pass for any line regiment. I think I will do some British and different facings, because I'm really interested in that. Another book on the Zulu War that I have. Ooh, bear with me. Daniel Mersey's The Anglo-Zulu War, a Wargamer's Guide to the Anglo-Zulu War. Great pickup if you're interested in the wargaming the period. It's quite concise actually. It doesn't ramble on at all. It's just the job, and he wrote the menu would be King's rules. But he doesn't even tell you you have to use those rules in this. It's just a reading. It probably shows you how much of a good writer he is, and tells you a lot about his character. But yeah, this is a good glossary. It tells you all the Zulu regiments, their estimated numbers and age group, so you could actually name your unmarried regiments and married ones, which I'm quite tempted to do, just for thematic reasons. My favourite 2 pages in the entire book are this. Sorry, that doesn't show it very well. I'll show it like this. And they are in fact the British columns in Zululand, so you have number 1, number 3 and number 4 columns in the first part of the campaign, and then later it's number 1, number 2 and the flying column of Creelock, Newdigate and Wood. It tells you every unit that was in the columns. So infamously it's Glynn's column which is wiped out. So that's my favourite bit, just because it's his one, isn't it? It's so iconic and such disaster. I think I just like interested in the such a massive defeat for, you know, what was otherwise quite a modern army. It's very interesting in the period. I've done some conversions of the Warlord Games plastics. I'm not sure if that's worth showing you guys. Mixed in with the, I'm not sure what set these are from actually. Well, I've got the standard bearer, so it might be American Civil War, something similar. So I've made a standard bearer. No, it's actually the Perry Miniatures Sudan Afghanistan box that I've done the conversions from. They're so bloody dull, these Warlord Games plastics, that I've had to make some conversions, like casualty figures and such. So in that way, I think the plastics are good just to get some different poses, but it does take a bit of effort. No, I think that is what you're meant to do with them. You know, mess them up a bit, make different poses. This is one of my favourite figures. I've made him with a dog, and he's protecting himself. Not sure how that shows up. again, my video's running over. I'm gonna just cut this off now so that I can make a second part to it, and I'll show you the some unpainted stuff I have, and the camp in the corner over here, and the cavalry that I have for the British, and the Natal native contingent. Okay, that's it, folks. I'm really excited to show you all of this. Bear with me. Oh, and the metals over here have not been matted down, hence why they have the nasty gloss sheen, but that will be worked on soon. Okay, bye for now, guys.